Hey, everybody. I love this. I love how many people checked in on our friend here. Um, I just wanted to say thank you for that. I want to say thank you. Anna Witt, Kestrel. I knew you'd be here, Kestrel. Marion Calabro, Bigsy, Just As I Am, Yorkie Mom. I bet Liz Trix is here. I haven't seen her name because it's probably up at the top. Robin Miners. I love you, girl. Um, hey, EVM. I don't want him to get cat hair in this. Allison Moon, good to see you. Dark Roast Siren, Marsha, Lori Helker, Lisa Kelson, Kiwi Girl. Christy Lynn Wilson's here. Kay came in. Jamie Asher. I know, Kestrel, and I love it. Tennessee Jenny. Hey, Gemini girl. Caroline in the moment. Abigail is with us. Alana's here. Hey, baby steps. Just Jen. Lumen. Never miss Lumen. Jeannie Hansen. Ocean Girl. Nico. Millie. I love that Millie's here. Tracy Murphy. Eureka. Melody. Harcrow. It does. That's weird, Melody. Let's see. Lisa Kelson. Thank you, Lisa. Casey Mittens. Lilac Lime, Jen Antnini Hobbs, Mary Behrens, the Bohemian Luciferian Witch. This is so cool. I love doing these times because there's different people usually at this time, and I love it. Natalie Strasser, Charcoal Ninja, VT Kitten, Mousy, Naomi Hales. Hey, Caroline. Caroline in the moment. I am crazy about this clothing line. I get a lot of it on Posh, and I've had some for a while now, but I like their this is kind of a thing they do, like this perforated. I would call that on leather. I don't know if you would call it that on a shirt. Anyway, it's called Varley, and I really like their stuff. Tabby is Irish, Wilford Harry. Hey, Sandy Wandy, Lou, Jessica West, Martha Summer. I don't know if I said hi to you. I love you, girl. I know, Lisa Kelson, Down's mom. Why are you staring at me like that? Jeez Louise. Incredibly judgmental. Tony Hoban. Audrey's here. Tallulah. Anna Witt, I love that you're here. No, Anna, I didn't do any drugs today and go to the vet. It was different for me. It was a different time for sure. Melissa Merrill. I know. I love seeing you here, Melissa. Can you have that name? Oh my God. I didn't know you could have a name with the F word in it. Beautiful Nightmare, Nancy Schmancy, Ivy's mama, Debbie Zito. Aria's even here. Aria, I hope you're doing good today. Joe Banks, Dee Dee Razzle Dazzle, Chauncey. Humble and Kind. Okay, so I'm kind of letting people trickle in, but I love this. I love afternoon shows. Oh my God, Noelle. I love Noelle. Thank you, Jezebel Mode. It's number 57. Layla Bradley. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. I think. Kate 76. Why can't you hear me? I think everybody else can. Heather Mack. Caroline. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling good, Caroline. Oh, that is so carbonated. I'm not used to it. I don't usually drink carbonated drinks. I knew you were here. I knew you were with me, Liz Trix. Reese, still really sore and tired, still on a bunch of meds, but can hopefully go home tomorrow. Okay, good. I bet you do miss your babies, Aria. I am sorry you had to go back to the hospital, but thank you for updating us, babe. And don't feel like you need to stay here. You need to sleep and rest. Melissa Holloway, I like an early live as well. Thank you, Lacey Silver. Hey, Amanda Deer. Hey, Violet L. Yorkie Mom, you can hear me. Joanne Hawley's here. Armine made it. Thank you, Armine. I really appreciate the prayers, guys. No, I think that's a hilarious name. I'm not going to say it yet because I don't want to get demonetized. Ms. Weedy Poo. Lino. Okay, good luck at the dentist. Ursina, I love you, girl. Silverbird made it. Yeah, I love that. Tabby is Irish. Yeah, I'm coming with it. I'm doing it. I'm just letting people come in. Lizbeth's here. So, First of all, I do want to say though, really truly, me too, Becky. I want to say thank you because in the Facebook group, even I saw people posting. First of all, being at that vet's office, what's going on with my hair? That vet's office. Hey, my other's keeper. Be nice, Linda. That vet's office has no cell service. Like it's so far out in the middle of nowhere. So before I got there and after I left, I saw people posting like any update, any word. Hey, just Joan. And I just want to say thank you for that. I really do believe in that power. I believe in it. I think it's real. I don't know if you would call it prayer. I don't know what we would call it. Riley's human. I mean, probably prayer, but well wishes, healing vibes. I believe in that big time. Kind of worried about you after yesterday's live. I'm okay, P. Taylor, but thank you for checking in on me. I'm okay. Blakey. So I think he's going to be okay. I just want to say that first. Hi, baby steps. Hey, Carrie Ann. I liked this vet a lot because I love this in a doctor. I love this in any kind of doctor. He's not an alarmist. So I said, he's guzzling down water. I said, hey, Mara. So I think he could have like a kidney infection or something, but I was like, obviously I'm not a doctor and I don't know. I just have a lot of doctor friends in my chat. And he didn't care, but he was like, basically he said this, Seamus is being neutered in 3 weeks. Hey, Victoria. And he said, here's what I want to do. We dewormed him today. The best news, I started crying like a weirdo. Remember? Hey, Tammy, remember I said to you guys yesterday that I cry at weird times at the vet? As soon as the doctor came in, I started crying and it was awkward for everybody about feline leukemia. I was super worried. And I recently decided to identify as a house kitty. So my boyfriend doesn't leave the house. If I show up, I can be the next one. I'll keep you for sure better together. If you come showing up, you're here to live with me. I love you, girl. Yeah, super weirdo, DP in Tennessee. I make things so awkward in most circumstances. It's almost unbelievable. But I live in that. Like I've always said, I live in Awkwardville. So it doesn't bother me. It always bothers the other person. Now, this vet happened to be incredibly flirty with me, which I wasn't against. I wasn't against it. I was kind of enjoying. I thought, oh my God, a flirty country person. Like, I don't know. I was feeling it. Oh my God, Trinity. I love you, girl. Welcome. I'm happy to see you. It's been a while. Kristen Lorson, welcome. But back to the cat. We'll get to the flirts in a minute. So yeah, those country people, they're wild cards. They're wild cards. You never know. He was cute, Carrie Ann. He was. Yeah. Ego death. I did. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, shards of words. Yeah. I definitely, it came back to me. It came back to me. You know, I've been married a few times. I've obviously been around the block more than a few times. And Mittens. Big hugs and sandpaper kisses from my 5 cats. I hope to get to where you are. I aspire to have 5. So happy. It sounds like good news. Thank you, Mittens. I love you and thank you for being a member. Okay, so Witchy Trista, Roberta's here, Annette's here. I love you guys. Here's what he said. Yeah, it was good. I didn't even look that cute. That's why I was kind of impressed with myself. I was like, I still got it. Hey, Sonia. So here's what he said. Possibly a flirty discount, Yorkie mom. Yeah. He was like, let's just wait and see. You've had this cat a couple of days. He said, let's just wait and see. He said what his new normal becomes. Okay. Meaning, yes, he's drinking a lot of water and the coughing. He was like, that could be a lot of things. He said, that doesn't mean any one thing. He said, it could be asthma. It could be feline herpes. It could be a respiratory infection. He was like, it could just be that you changed him to a new food Robin, I like it. I like it. Sam Fibrofox, a little help. Oh, thank you, Sam. That is kind of you. Thank you. Hey, Wicked Tinkers. He said, it could be, it could be, it could be. He goes, but the fact of the matter is, you've only had him a couple of days. And he was like, hey, King's Kid. He said, I'm not going to rush to. He goes, if you want to pay a ton of money to do all these tests and blood work, we can. But he said he's coming back to be neutered in 3 weeks. He said, if in a week and a half, he still is doing the same thing, he's got the cough, he's got the symptoms, you think something's wrong, he said, call me on Friday night and meet me at this restaurant at 7, and I will bring his meds. He didn't say that, but he did say, call me. And he said, I don't have to see him again. I saw him today. I will give you medications to treat whatever we think it is. So I said, do you have like a home number, or do you have a beeper? Old school. I like old school tactics. He said he didn't have a pager. So that's a bummer. But here's the good news in all seriousness, if I can be serious for a minute, because I'm going to be honest. A man hasn't flirted with me in a few weeks. I feel like it's been a minute. So whenever I get the flirt, I really tend to dial it up. And I'm sure he was uncomfortable by the time we left and parted. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Maybe I should call him. Just kidding. No, he was not old. He was young. Is kind of a bummer. He was a young dude. But he said, no, Kestrel, we did not. Rain virus. Okay, so he said, first of all, this is all weird. He's 8 pounds. Our little baby's 8 pounds. Smoke signals, Anna Witt. He's 8 pounds. And he said, he's about a year old. And I said, no, he's not. Okay. And he said, yeah, no, I think he is. And I said, well, for obvious reasons, he's not, because he's smaller than Moose. And you said Moose was like 8 months old. So I'm not a mathematician, but you're being inconsistent. I need you to notice that, just as a man. Like, I need you to be more consistent. So he said, I'll show you why I'm being consistent. And we showed the teeth, and he has his adult canines. Hey, Oni, he has his adult canines. So he said, see these? That's me being consistent. And he said, he's 8 pounds. And I said, well, he's skin and bones, and that's a problem. And he said, he's not underweight at all. And I said, again, I don't like your inconsistencies and lies. And he said, actually, he's perfect weight. And I said, no, because I can feel his spine. And he said, nope, actually, he said, most cats are super overweight, and that is what you're thinking. And I said, first of all, I don't own a cat that's overweight. So Kid's not overweight. Kid is exactly where she should be at her 20-pound self. It's just right. And she likes to be plump, and she plumps up around this time of year every time. And so do I. And there's nothing wrong with it. So he said, I don't agree with that, though. Seriously, he is really, really thin. And he said, hey, Sierra Terry, he said, I said, is he like a runt? Like, I didn't want to offend him. And I don't know if that's a word we can use these days, but I said, is he a runt? Hey, Muffet Lou, Jazzy Girl, driving fan. And I said, I don't want to hurt his feelings. And he said, no. And I said, well, then why is he so small? Why is he tiny? Why, how's people are going to make fun of him? He's too little. And he said, he will fill out, but he is the size he is. Okay. Well, agree to disagree. I don't know that that's right. I also think we need to fatten him up. He's too thin. He's too little. That's fine. And a banana. And he said, oh, I prayed to Fred. What's a runt? A runt, Anna Witt, is the smallest one out of the litter. A runt is like just a little, sometimes a litter of cats has a runt and it's just a little guy. And I don't know terms these days. I'm not sure who gets offended by that word. He could get offended by that word. I don't know. We don't know his background. We don't know where he came from. We don't know where he went to school. I don't know if he's city or country. I don't know if he came from the city, but he was dropped off out here. You know what I mean? He doesn't belong to anybody. He doesn't have a chip. Nobody responded to the Facebook post. So I'm going to assume Lumen. That's the other thing. I'm not sure where this guy went to vet school. Now I'm going to give him a pass because he was flirty. He was cute. He seemed to know his stuff. I liked his pants. His belt matched his shoes. It felt right in the air. So we're going to give him a pass. But yeah. He said he wasn't with his extra toe. He's not a polygamist. And I said, yes, he is. He has an extra toe. He's got a Hemingway toe. Hey, Tony P. And he said, no, he doesn't. I was like, okay, now I feel like you're not even really like, are you quite sure you went to veterinary school? Muffet Lou. Yeah, he did know about the canines, I suppose. He was fancy, Rain. The belt matched the shoes. Just ask him if we don't know. I think we did go to school together, Seamus and I. Let me know what he says. Yeah, I'm going to find out where he went to school better together. Thank you for your super chat. I thought, yes, I thought he was polyamorous with his toe. Hey, Joe Virus. Hey, Tiff. He said he's not. And I said, do you even know what a polyamorous polygamy cat is? Like, do you even know? And he said, I do. And so neither here nor there. But what we're going to do, here's what needs to happen. Raymond, he is okay. Hey, Jan, here's what needs to happen. He said, have him come back in 3 weeks. We're going to neuter him. We have to do his booster shot in 3 weeks. I said, okay. He said, this is something I didn't know. I said, so wait, he doesn't have feline leukemia. April Goodson. No, he doesn't think he has feline herpes, Raymond. He said that, and he did do the cough when we were there, by the way. Thank God he did the cough. He did it. And I said, what is it? What is it? And he said, a cough. It could be anything. And I kind of liked that about him. Allie Harvey, I got to be honest, in my doctors, I love a doctor who is not an alarmist like that. And he goes, I said, is it feline herpes? He was like, maybe, but maybe not. He said he probably doesn't have a UTI. That's not common. He said kidney failure would be very unusual in a young cat like this. And he said he doesn't have, I said, what about just a respiratory infection? What about a cold? Why aren't you checking for COVID? What are you doing? And he said, hey, Rogue Hedgie, he said, I checked. He doesn't have any congestion in his nasal passages. He said, so I'm not even going to treat him for that. I'm even going to treat him for a respiratory infection. And I said, I have to be honest, I kind of like this about you. I like that you are just cool and calm. And it goes with the whole demeanor, with the belt, with the shoes. And don't think I didn't notice, because it did. Because we're also out in the country. And Armine, good question. So we dewormed him. I don't know if he had worms, but I said, is he going to give worms to my other cat? And he said, yeah, I still have Moose. Sadly, he's kind of a dickhead, Moose. But he said, no, if they're not using the same litter box, we're good. Anna Witt. So I said, so can we release him out into the wild of our living room? And he said, absolutely not. When you get a new cat, you have to quarantine them for 2 weeks. And I said, why? 1, and 2, you'd never told us that about Moose. And honestly, I would have liked to keep that little shit in a room by himself because he is dicky. He's dicky. He can be dicky like his father. He loves it. Yeah, he did listen to his heart. Yep, he said he's fine. He said he was fine. So he said the reason you have to quarantine them for 2 weeks is if he does have some kind of a virus, it takes 2 weeks to shed that. So Yeah. So I don't know, Kestrel, but he said, give it 2 weeks. And I said, that's fine. And here's why that's fine. Seamus likes it here, like in this room. When I come in here and sit with him, check on him, change his food, change his litter box, he doesn't try to get out. Like he's chill in here. He doesn't mind it. And it's actually kind of cute because the other cats sit through the door and stare at each other because there's a pretty big gap in my door. Look at how cute this picture is. Look at Moose this morning. They sit there and talk to each other. They sit there and chat back and forth. Isn't that cute? So I think it's fine that they're just smelling each other through the door. It's fine. Moose, like I said, is a dickhead anyway, so I don't really want to let him out. Hey, Joel Sachs. Is Moose behaving better? Look, Moose is, Seamus was dumped at my mom's farm, Amanda. Yeah, Ray, I agree. Moose is way kinder to me and Huxley now that Tommy has been gone for so long. He took a couple of weeks to warm up to, okay, that dude's gone. The guy that looks like me, Moose and Tommy kind of look alike. They have the same nose and their little cross-eyed, little beady little eyeballs. So it took him a minute. Now he's really nice to me and Huxley, but he's still a complete dickhead to Kid. I mean, he is a dickhead to Kid. He pounces on her. He yanks fur out of her. She screams. He bites her. She's bled. Like, he's an asshole. Moose is an asshole. I don't know if that's going to change, but I also think Seamus is so sweet. I'm worried he's going to do that to him. However, being that they're close in age, maybe they'll be friends. They may play with each other more hardcore and get along. I don't feel like Seamus has... It is Lisa Kelson. It's very upsetting. Hey, Diane. Seamus seems to be less aggressive. When Gertie came in here the other day with me, and I didn't want her to, but she came rushing through the door. She ran right up to Seamus's face, and Seamus ran right up to her face, and he just immediately head butted her. He did not hiss. He did not whack at her. Like most cats, I feel like when a new animal comes up to them and rushes them, usually they're a little bit more like, hey, whoa. This cat was like, love me, pet me. He was so sweet. And that's what he did when I met him Saturday night at my mom's farm. I got out of my car. He came running up to me and I was like, okay, get the kennel. He's coming home. Kid is doing okay, but she doesn't like Moose. Bye, Aria. We love you, girl. So, you little baby, Bubba. This cat is so chill. So I said that with my flirty doctor. I know, me too, Mousy. I said, he's pretty cool, isn't he? And he said, yeah, he is. And I said, you wish you had him, don't you? And he was like, not really, but he's a good cat. And I said, well, I mean, truly, he's special. I said, there's somebody in there, isn't there? And he was like, in where? And I said, he's got... Some cats and animals are kind of empty, like they're just animals. But to me, some have more of a presence and a personality. He does. I'm spelling it Seamus because that is the actual Irish spelling. I spelled it the other way at first. I changed it. So his birth certificate is going to be SEA. Baby steps, he does want a mama. And I asked him if he thought he was Irish. And he said, I have no idea. And I said, why not? Bubby. I said, can't you tell by his accent? And the other embarrassing thing that happened, I said, he's got some kind of an infection on the end of his tail because it was all scaly and weird. And the vet thinks I'm a nutball. Absolutely, he does. It's all scaly and weird on the end of his tail. And I was like, we need to check his tail. There's something wrong with the end of his tail. And he touches the end of his tail and he pulled him off and he goes, those are cockaburs. Those are out in the country. He was like, those are just cockaburs. And I said, you're telling me for the last 3 days I was avoiding that because I thought it was scabs? And he said, yeah, they're just cockaburs. And I said, well, get the hell out of here. Yeah, My vet is way too straight laced. He rogue hedgy. I kind of liked it. Honestly, I kind of liked it. And if I'm being serious, I didn't think this dude was. At first, I was like, this dude is not flirting with me, right? Like he was so smiley and kind of like just reminded me of being in the city again. And in my mind, I was like looking at what I was wearing, and I was like, this dude is not flirting with me. Like surely not. And I was like, he's not. And then he took him to do the feline leukemia test. I prayed to Fred, and then he came back and he wouldn't leave. And I mean, wouldn't leave. This dude spent like 30 minutes with me. And then I started to get uncomfortable, like I do in the Zoom calls, and I start trying to talk people out of having their memberships. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Tony Suter. And I was like, well, I know you got to go. So I was like, you can skedaddle. You can skidoo out of here. I was like, I'm sure you have other patients to see. And he was like, no, we're good. We're fine. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's flirting with me. I could tell. Like immediately I was like, am I picking up on a scent here? Like, are the pheromones? Yeah, no, he really was. Because, yeah, hey, Amy Degg, he couldn't find the records for Moose. He was like, what did he say? I said, Moose. And he goes, yeah, let me look him up. And he couldn't find it. And he goes, I have Bo here. And I said, yeah, that's mine. He goes, what about Gertie? I said, yeah, I mean, sort of, it's Gertie. And I said, sometimes it's Linda. And he said, where is Moose? And I said, I don't know. You tell me, dude. What do you mean? I was like, I don't know your paperwork. Come here then. If you want to be held, you need to jump down and come here. I'm not going to pick you up like that. Lydia, come over here and stop being sassy. So he couldn't find it. And then finally, it took him forever. I know he's a little young for me. He's probably 45. He's probably 5 years old. Okay. Come here, Monica, right now. Okay, that's fine. I don't appreciate the sass. We're trying to do things. We're trying to talk to people. But you are little, and everybody's aware of it. So what am I getting at? So then he says, I can't find it. He's like, what would it be under another name? And I was like, no, dude, his name's Moose. Hey, Fatty Moo Matty. And I said, it's Moose. And he was like, would it be under a different? And I was like, no, dude, I'm telling you. And he finally found it. And he goes, oh, it's under this name and it's under this farm. I guess my parents had it under some account because my mom, if you remember, found Moose first before I even moved here. And so she took him in because he had some infection near his eye. I forgot about all that. Hey, Sarah Bowman. Hey, Kazri. And he goes, it's under this farm. And I said, oh, yeah, that's one of my dad's farms. And he goes, how many farms does your dad have? And I was like, I don't know. Do you want to go to lunch and talk about it? No, he doesn't have a Southern accent, Blake. It was weird. I did not ask him out. I didn't ask him out, guys. I wouldn't do that. That's disrespectful to our guy in Arizona. I wouldn't do it. It's just like the country vet in Baby Boom. What is that? Is that a movie? It was smooth, Blakey. It was. Alana, I love you, girl. Flirting with the farmer's daughter. Maybe we could go on a drive sometime and count the farms. Do you know how awkward I would be on a date? And do you know, by the way, how fun it would be? I was thinking if I went on a date, again, not going to do it, but this is hypothetical. What if I went on a date? What if I put a Tinder up and then I went on a date and I live streamed it? Now, obviously, you'd have to get his permission and be like, look, I have a channel, I have a show. No one would be willing to do it. Obviously, not one person. There's no one man out there that would be like, sure, I guess. But how fun would it be to set up my phone at the table if someone were willing and be like, so do you like the missionary position? You're welcome. That would be so much fun. Oh my God, Raymond. So anyway, I think he was flirting because eventually I got really uncomfortable and I started to sweat. Hey, McTwin. And I was like, I know that you have to go now. I started to try to push him out of the room. I was like, I'm sure you have other patients to see. And he was like, no, we're fine. He was like, we're good. We're good. I was like, dang, I still got it. At 40, I still got it. And I like that. And I also like that I don't have any forehead wrinkles yet. And maybe he thought I was 35. Don't do the eyebrows. You're going to scare him. Okay. Okay. Um, Tell him you're a YouTuber. Let's get him on here. I don't tell anybody I'm a YouTuber, but that would be fun too. Bring him some cookies. Oh my God. Guys, it's not going to happen with the vet. It's not going to happen. He's way too young. He's way too thin. Um, Now, I think it would be cool to date a vet because then I could bring every animal under the sun inside. Like I could bring Duncan the armadillo in. If you were dating a vet, you'd be like, hey, if you want to come get laid, I brought another animal too. We could have a little sex. You could fix up the armadillo. I just think that would be kind of neat. Can you half speed the eyebrows? I like it faster. Yeah. I would never want to be a children's teacher, Betty Rue. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm not a big fan of the children. I like being around, some kids, but like George Carlin said, kids are just like any other set of people, a few winners, a whole lot of losers. I don't want to be around a bunch of kids and teach them. I am not qualified to do so. That's why I chose senior living. I like old people. Um, I don't know how many farms my dad has. Like, I'm going to know that. I don't know that. Uh, could you pretend to date him for a discount? I'll tell you what, I could have used a discount this morning. I thought he was going to give me a discount. And when I went out there to pay, I was like, holy shit. Okay, we didn't get a discount. You know how else I knew he was flirting with me? This is what really sealed the deal. This is fun. Men don't flirt with me. So, like, it's kind of sad, honestly, that like I should get out more. Just sit down there. Jeez. I should get out more because I overkill. Like if I think you're flirting with me, I'm like he was like, okay, so we treated him for worms. And I was like, how long does that last? Is that a monthly thing? Do I need to come back? Like it's awkward as hell. But I knew he was flirting with me, and here's why. Because he goes, yeah, he goes, I remember you from when you brought Moose in. And then that's how I knew, because he goes, how long ago was that? And I was like, I don't know, like a month ago. And he looked finally when he found it, he looked it up and he was like, that was June. And I said, oh, okay, yeah. So that's right. And he goes, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like I didn't even pluck my beard today and I was still getting the flirts. I thought that was kind of hot. I gave myself some credit for that. I think it's important to flirt. Look, I'm not trying to sleep with the guy. I just think it's important when you get male attention and you never do. Lean into that. Go for it. Joel Sachs. I still got it. Even, yeah, he remembered me in the right way. I still got it even out in the country. It's been a minute since I've flirted. Yeah, flirting is so fun, but it's also super awkward because I was thinking that sitting there, I was like, this dude is not flirting. Like I was quiet, I was profesh, like I was not expecting that. So I was like, good morning. Yeah. So I was like, here's the things that I'm noticing. I got him Saturday night. I was just giving him the bullet points. Then he kind of got warm and fun and fuzzy. And I was like, he's not flirting. And then when he left and came back and he was like, I remember you. I was like, oh, say more. Tell me more about how you remember me. Hey, Sharon. Aren't I with Tommy? Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. It's harmless. It's harmless. I'm not doing anything. I'm not cheating. I'm not a cheater. Most of the time, I'm not a cheater. I would say I'm not. I would not classify myself as a cheater. Did he have a ring on? I don't think so. But honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, did I even look? Probably not, but I didn't check because I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I knew I wasn't going to date that guy. Like it was just harmless. It was harmless. Lulu, harmless. Um, Since when did flirting become cheating? I agree. Now, you have to look at the other side of that, though, guys. You have to look at the only Seamus is making boob biscuits. That's right. I'm a flirter, not a cheater. Kestrel, that's right. But you do have to look at the other side of that. Like Tommy, let's use him as an example. Yes, fatty boom batty. But let's use Tommy as an example. If he went somewhere and a woman was like, ew. The thing is, 5, 10, 15 years ago, I would have been like, what the hell? I would have been pissed. There's something about as I've aged. First of all, there's nothing you can do to control that. That's how I look at that now. The other thing, though, is I'm like, Tommy's not a cheater. Tommy's not even a flirter. Like, anybody could flirt with him. And I feel like Tommy would be like, yeah, okay. Like, he's been around the block so much, just like I have. It's like, meh. I mean, it's flirting. I don't know. I don't feel like now. Hey, Lydia, we're just updating on the cat. I also think, yes, Lulu, I also believe that flirting is harmless, but like touching is not. I don't like when women do that. I don't do that. I am not touchy-feely. I'm not going to go hang on and like touch you. And to me, that's a consent thing. I don't like grabbing people. I don't like when people like, ha, and they like put their arm around you when you don't know them. It's like, yeah, that's kind of far for me. But I think women flirt, not all. I think men flirt. And I think that's perfectly okay if you're secure in the person you're with. I think it's harmless. Let's pretend that guy this morning had been like, hey, would you like to go out sometime? I would have said, I can't, but thank you. And I want to keep flirting though. Let's keep flirting. And I want the discount that you're going to give me. But no, I mean, I don't believe in crossing lines and boundaries, but I think flirting is perfectly okay. And I believe wholeheartedly that women flirt with Tommy all the time. I see it when we're here, when we go out places together. Women absolutely, they look at him and they either flirt with their eyes if we're not there long enough, or it's like we went out on a date once here and some lady came over to like refill his drink and she was like, do you want another drink? Like it was really obvious. And he was like, I think I'm okay, thanks. And she was like, just let me know. I'm like really bubbly and, hey, Jamie Palmer. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, that's cute. I mean, it was cute. Like he's not the kind of guy that's going to be like, yeah, girl, like, especially in front of me. Who cares? I don't know. I think I've become more secure as I've gotten older. And I also have come into the fact that I'll never put up with a man who's going to pull that shit. So if Tommy started swaying and like being flirty in front of me and disrespectful, I would have a conversation first and say, I don't appreciate that. Like, especially when we're together, you're not going to do that in front of me. I'm your person. But I also think if he goes somewhere and a girl flirts with him and he's like, well, what's the harm in that? I don't know. I don't see the harm in that. Hey, John Van Geest, Hockey Town John. That's all. So I feel secure, I guess, in myself, knowing I'm not a cheater. And I feel secure in Tommy or whatever man I'm with, that I'm going to choose a person that's not going to be that way. Because frankly, it's trashy as shit if you're actually flirting to cheat. Like that's fucked up. Excuse me for cussing so much. Nettles, welcome. This is your first live. I love that you're here. Welcome. Everyone likes to feel attractive. To me, I'm with the blonde. To me, Raymond is absolutely right there. And to me also, it's validating, especially for Tommy said something to me recently and he was like, I don't care about any women that are like into me. Cause we all know the women, there's tons of women that are into Tommy that watch him. We see it. They put the hearts and they're like, I love Tommy Scoville so much. You think I don't see it? You think he doesn't see it? But even worse, he gets messages all the time. Women email him like trying to have sex with him. It's weird. But the fact is, he said this to me the other day. He goes, I'm not into groupies. Like, I don't I'm too old for that shit. I don't care. It doesn't bother me and it doesn't bother him. It just kind of comes with the territory. But the thing is, like, I don't know. It's an age thing for me. I'm not, yeah, there's some weird women. Yeah, Rachel Harmon, Hope Between the Dreams. This is flirt school. Yeah, that's right, Anna Witt. Thank you, babe. Tommy is a babe. See, Violet, she thinks he's a babe. So many women do think that about him. You think I'm not aware of it? He's attractive. He's got a lot of features that are attractive physically and about his character, his personality. But I can't control those women. I can't control any of that. So why not just let it flow? It's admiration. It's validation. For me, it's validation because, so what I was getting at, thank you, Nettles. Tommy's one that doesn't care. He doesn't need it. It's not validation for him. He's like, I've slept with so many women. I've been with so many women. It doesn't really, like, he is crushable. It doesn't really it doesn't spark anything for him. And I believe him because I see it. Hey, Anne, he doesn't care. And then you have someone like me who I feel like I absorb validation, admiration, words of what's my love language, guys? Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, all those things matter to me. And I have to have that in a relationship. Actually, anybody who's in a relationship with me, like at this point, should know I am extremely needy. I need validation. I need your time. I need you to notice me. It's not great. It's something I recognize in me that's unhealthy, and I need to provide those things for myself. I shouldn't rely on a man for that, but I do. But the point is, when other men, like this morning, turn up the flirt with me, I always respond to it. And I do that pretty much with anybody around. Happy birthday to your boyfriend, Hope Between the Dreams. I think it's harmless, but it's also weird. And I'm willing to admit this. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I'm lacking in something because I really absorb it when people flirt with me. And I like it when even women flirt with me. Women flirt with other women, and it doesn't have to be sexual, but like I do it. Like I have said to women, I'm like, damn, girl, you're looking good. Like I love this whole thing we've put together, the whole ensemble. When women do that to me, I'm like, hell, like, yes, I like it both ways. Sophia, with age comes caring less about the small stuff. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah, it's a confidence boost. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Alana, thank you for saying that. You've gotten a lot better at the validation thing since leaving Jeff. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Kestrel, I don't even care. That's what I'm saying. People flow flirtiness to Tommy. I see it. It's not like I'm blind. It just doesn't bother me. It doesn't get to me. If he chooses to go that route and find somebody else or like explore into that, if some woman does reach out and he's interested, that's not really my business either. Like that's not really I can't control that. I'm learning so much lately. I've been reading a lot like of psychologists talk words, and I'm feeling so free lately knowing about the snake. Sometimes though I realize we are the snakes to ourselves. And for people who don't know, the snake is, if you're in a relationship with someone, if you meet a stranger, if it's a boss, anybody, if they hurt you. Yeah, Martha Slemmer and I flirted big time in Clearwater. We did. I love it. I love flirting with men and women. It's fun for me. It's a form of communication. It's a behavior, and it doesn't have to feel dirty. It doesn't have to be gross. Fred was so flirty with all things vagina. I'll never forget when he turned 95 on February 8th. He goes, 95. And I said, I know. And he goes, and I still love Kit Kats and women. And I was like, Maturity does not come with age, folks. It was so cute, though. He was so flirty with women. It wasn't ever dirty, though. It wasn't like dirty old man. It didn't, some people flirt with you and you're like, ugh, like, I feel gross. Like, you could tell that they had other intentions. Like, usually flirting is a fun, light, just a fun way of communication. Anyway, one, the snake. Yeah, Martha, it was the snake. Absolutely, the snake is sometimes ourselves. And I'm learning that. I am biting myself sometimes. Yes, Sonia, it wasn't a dream. The snake is a reference to when somebody hurts you and it's intentional and you know it. Instead of taking care of yourself and getting the poison out and the wound like you should do, we chase the snake. We catch up with the snake and then we go, why did you do that to us? Why did you bite? Why? This hurt. Now I'm poisoned. I have to take this poison out. I didn't deserve that. Why did you do that? No more chasing the snake, guys. People are aware of what they're doing. Let them do it the one time and learn from it. You got to go take care of yourself. Okay, Ray. But sometimes I feel like I'm the snake to myself. And that's something I'm realizing. But the more what I'm trying to get at is what a beautiful gift it is to realize we can only truly control our own words, our own behavior, our own actions. And you absolutely were not put here to control anybody else. I was not put here to control Tommy. I was not put here to control Jeff. As you can see how well that worked out. He still did all of his jester bullshit, right? As much as I cried, begged, screamed, self-mutilated, tore my fucking fingernails off to bleeding point, he didn't care. You can't control anybody else but yourself. So then we have this thing called the gap. And those things that we can't control, we need to put into the gap. And that's basically everything outside of you, your person, yourself, your character, your behavior, how you treat people, how you treat yourself. Colton Crims coming at you tonight, 7:00 Central. But that is such a gift for someone like me who constantly tried to control things, because that's a Scientological thing. In Scientology, we are trained hardcore to not only control ourselves, the environment around us, the people in our environment. You are supposed to, it's called running control. You run control on your environment. So for someone like me to realize what I just said, hey, Mara, is huge. Because I've always tried to control everything. And once you realize I was only put here to control my own self, that's what I mean. Like all those women that flock to Tommy, maybe there's not a ton. I don't count them, but I can't care or worry about it. It just doesn't get to me. All I can do is trust that he's not going to act on it, just like he trusts me that I'm not going to act on it. Anything outside of that, we can sit up all night wondering, but it's not going to change anything. And I feel that way about even like, the hate out there. I haven't looked at any of that. Let's see. I think I'm 5 days sober. I haven't looked at anything about me. I don't know what they're saying. I love you, Rogue Hedgie. I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what the new topic is. I don't know if there's a new story out there about me. I don't know what the rumor is. And it feels so good to not know. I'm not commenting on it anymore if you've noticed, because I can't. I don't know what they're saying. I have nothing to defend myself about. Before I was hey, Tammy Morgan, I was saying like, I'm so grifty. I was doing all that because I was trying to defend, it's her birthday today. Cheris, happy birthday. Oh my God, it's Rogue Hedgie's daughter's birthday. I love that. I'm sober. Yeah. Hey, Barefoot April. Hey, SPTV Inc., Jenny. So if you noticed before, I was like, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. I don't know why they're saying that. That's the snake. I was questioning the snake. I think 5 days sober. I haven't looked. I haven't chased the snake. I don't know what the snake is saying. I don't give a shit. That snake is always going to exist. And it feels so good because I wake up every day now and I'm not like, that's not true. I wish people weren't saying that. I wish, like, it took up so much space in my head. It changed my behavior. Not anymore, because I don't know. I can't comment on what I don't know, and I don't know. Nobody's sending me anything. I've asked everybody to stop doing that. It feels so good because it was becoming a habit. It really was. And it changed. If you guys notice, it really changed my behavior. It took up space. It was like water coming into the boat. And it's so I sleep better, but like it's so crazy. Everybody should try this about something because it's so crazy now. I can't even joke, like crack jokes about it. Like, oh, I'm getting my helicopter. I don't know what's being said. It's so freeing to just give it your silence. And I realize I'm talking about it, which I'm not giving it silence. This is just a beautiful example though of like silence is your most powerful weapon against stuff like that. It is so powerful because I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to give excuses. I don't have to give reasons. I don't have to put my hand up and go, but I'm not that. Believe me. Who cares? I don't care what people think. Those that want to stay will stay, and those that don't will leave. Hey, Nana of 2. My name is John. I'm a hateaholic. I have 7 days sober. All right. I'm loving life. John, that's amazing. Good for you. It's a real addiction. It is. It becomes an addiction. You know, it's so hard when people are like, just don't look. Okay, well, it's hard to do that. It really is. But you know how this all started? I didn't share this with you guys. Natalie and I made a pact. After our live last Thursday, hey, Tampa B, Natalie made a pact with me and she was like, let's stop. Let's just stop. Like it really does change your world. It changes your environment. It leaks in and it kind of consumes you. And I said, okay, I'll do it if you'll do it. I have not done it once. I have not looked. I don't care. And it feels so good. And the longer you go without it, like now I don't even think about it. Now I'm not gonna like before, like the first 24 hours, I was like, I want to see, I just want to know. Nope. Like now I'm not even thinking about it. And as I take my nightly walks with my dad, I just think this is so wonderful. Not knowing. I don't know what's being said. I don't know what the new rumor is. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And I can't come here and comment on it. I can't even come here and joke about it because I just don't know what the fuck they're saying. It feels so good. It feels really good. Give it a try, guys. Give it a try. But that does take me back to the snake. Hey, Shell. And I think that's something we all can kind of relate to in our own lives. And I've been really trying to think with that. Vicki Andrews, welcome. But then I started thinking, sometimes I am my own snake. Sometimes I'm not an advocate for me. Not sometimes, a lot of the times. You guys see me tear myself down. You guys see me say, I'm not smart. I'm not pretty. I'm really trying to see that differently as why are you injecting yourself with poison? Why am I doing that? There's always going to be, hey, L Train, there's always going to be someone that's smarter than me. There's always going to be people that are prettier than me. It's not a race. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to bring this up. I have been saving like really good quotes. Oh my God, this one was hilarious. Men have nice skin because they stress everyone out but themselves. Ah ha ha, it's so true. I thought that was really funny. Anyway, that wasn't it. I just saw that when I opened my photos. This was a cool one. I just want to share a couple of these with you. Hey, Vanessa Winbury. This was a good one. And I kind of agree with this. I agree with it a lot. Because I seek approval all the time because of my background in Scientology. Our society doesn't know what to do with a woman who's not seeking its approval. Think about that for a minute. Lori Lee, he's going to be okay, I think. And Trixie, he's good. I gave the update at the beginning. Our society doesn't know what to do with a woman who's not seeking its approval. How many women, I feel like so many women do this. I do this a lot. How many of us apologize for everything? How many of us, I was talking about this recently, like how many, no, I didn't break my phone. It's the screen protector on it, John, broke. I dropped it on the rocks when I was taking a walk up at the farm. Thank God. It just broke the screen protector. I just need a new one. How many times have we apologized for our personalities or being to this or to that? How many men do that? And I'm not attacking men. I love men. But I think we do it to ourselves. I think women do it to ourselves, you know? So I thought that was a good one. It's so true. I'm sorry. These allergies, I'm so itchy. Um, oh my God. This one was so funny. This is another one I saved. When you forget to text your goodnight and you wake up to, I sincerely hope you have a blessed life. That's me. Like, if you don't give me enough attention, I'm like, okay, well, it was really nice meeting you, and tell your mother that it was nice meeting her too. Let's see. This one is really good. Teresa. Damn, Reese. I love Teresa. Teresa, I wish that you had been in the Zoom call. I missed you. There's your growing feminism again. I'm over here cooking and listening. Just had to dry my hands to type this out. I love you. I love you too. I knew you'd be proud of that, Teresa. I love this too, guys. Heal. So you can see that attention is not love. Attachment is not connection. And bare minimum is not effort. Yes. Thank you. Attention is not love. Attachment is not connection. And bare minimum is not effort. I love that because I am a sucker for that. Attention is not love. Yet for me, it is. And I'm really, really trying to unlearn that. It is, Shelly. I'm trying to unlearn that. Just that piece alone. I mean, it's hard for me to describe, but that is so Scientology right there. Attention doesn't equal love. And attachment is not connection. Anybody can be attached to somebody, right? But it doesn't mean it's connection. Anybody can share something with someone. That doesn't equal connection. I just thought that was really beautiful. And bare minimum is not effort. That's another one for me, big time for me. You know, someone who's just kind of, hey, sunshine, Sheila, someone who's just giving me a little bit of push and pull, the breadcrumbing thing. That is bare minimum. And I see that as effort. I've always seen that as effort with the men I've been with. Like, well, they're really trying because they texted me good morning. That is bare minimum. Yes, Debbie Zito. We deserve more than that, guys. We bring it. We bring everything. We share our hearts. We bring so much to the table. We have so much to offer. We can do better if we're not going to get the connection and the effort. I don't want bare minimum, and I don't want attachment. I want love. And that's not the other person's fault. That's me. I need to work on that because I've always seen attention as love. That really shines through for me with the ex. You know, I would fight with him all week long. He'd call me a CUNT in front of Huxley, or he'd tell me I was a terrible mother. I'm just a stupid Scientologist. But boy, oh boy, when Friday started coming, he'd be like, I made us reservations and we're going to go out and I want you to get dressed up. Good night, Sonia. Hey, Bo. And I would go, woohoo, yeah. He really loves me. All that stuff he said all week, he was just busy. He was in a bad mood. It was a bad money week. And I would make shit up. Or I would just go, maybe I shouldn't have been so bitchy that day. I was on my period. So he said that to me. That attention is not love. So I do too, Shelly. Attention is not love. So when Friday would roll around and he'd go, I made reservations. We're going to go out and, hey, Jam Jam. I took that as love. I'd go, oh, he really does love me. He made reservations. That's not love. That's attention. And that's giving attention when he felt like giving fucking attention. And that's even worse to me. Like, it's Friday, it's the end of the week. I want to get laid. I want to go out and have a good steak. I want to be a big man. I want to swing my dick around because I'm the chillest. That's different. But I didn't see it that way because I was down in it. Oh yeah, Friday is shave day. That's right. He knew it. I know, Mousy. The thing is, though, it's kind of nice to be able to recognize it now, though, and see where I went wrong and where he went way wrong. Yeah, buying attention is like buying prostitutes. Absolutely. Let's see if there's any others. I just thought that was a really powerful one. Here's a good one. Here's another good one. Hey, Carol Barnhart. And then I'll sign off, guys. I didn't really intend to. I don't know why I have to say that every time. I never intend to do anything on these streams. I have no plan. I have no script. So I don't really know why I come on and apologize and go, sorry, we went into the weeds. That's the show. It's the show. I still don't get people who get mad at me for that. And maybe that's why I keep apologizing. Hey, Otter Dancer. Wow. Bo says, Reese, I needed to hear this. I just departed from my partner of almost 10 years, and that was our relationship to a T. Bare minimum is not love, Bo. Good for you. I mean, I'm sorry. That's sad. I hate that for you. But it's really good to recognize it. And then that makes you a stronger person, and you can heal faster, Bo. I love that. Thank you, L Train. Robin Miners, we are always here to play in the weeds. That's what we do. We show up in the weeds. It ends in the weeds. It starts in the weeds. Teresa Devers, it's been a long time. He's good. I think he's going to be okay. Maleficent, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while either. Going into the weeds is very normal around here, and we like it. We're comfortable in the weeds. Okay, listen to this one. Growth is realizing that someone's inconsistency is a sign to step back. Not a challenge to prove your worth. I am so guilty of that. Renee Rainbow, I love you and thank you for saying that. Growth is realizing that someone's inconsistency is a sign to step back, not a challenge to prove your worth. I love you, Hockeytown John. We will for the rest of our lives. How true is that? And Robin, I know how many people are guilty of the opposite. I do it all the time. That's all I do. Inconsistency for me is a challenge for me to prove my worth. That's part of the snake issue right there, is like getting bit and chasing the snake and being like, wait, I'm worth more than that. Wait, you hurt me. Wait, I didn't deserve that. You're challenging the snake. Why are we doing that? We don't need to prove our worth. We know our worth. Or we're growing to learn our worth. We're going to work on our worth. But we don't need to prove it to snakes. Meredith Lynn, I needed to hear this. Been struggling missing my ex. I get it. Great guy, but I broke up because he wasn't giving. I remember you telling us this, giving me what I needed. Need to remember not to settle. Yes, girl. And you're absolutely gorgeous. And I love your personality. So even more reason, I'm glad that you know your worth, Meredith, because you are high on the worth scale. I love you and I'm proud of you for saying what you said. Thank you for that. Yeah, Kathy Ann, that's a nice thing to say. Thank you, Amanda, dear. Self-love is key, Big Z. Absolutely. Abigail, I haven't opened your email yet. Oh, Annika's mom, this is a brand that I like called Varley, V as in Victor, Arley. I love, the reason I love them, I have really short legs and they make this pant called the Slim Cuff Pant. and they make it in a 25-inch inseam, and the material is unbelievably buttery, smooth, soft. It's like a jogger, and it comes in a lot of colors. Hey, Marissa Martin. So that's the main reason I love this brand, because they make a pant that is short for me, but they also make them in like a 27.5-inch inseam. They make them in more inseams, but I like that they do that for us shorter gals. Varley. Yeah. But their tops are really cute too. And they just have like some cute sweater stuff. Now, I think Anthropologie sells them, Nordstrom sells them. Of course, you can go to their website. They're kind of they're a little spendy, but I found pieces like this, for instance, I found on Poshmark. I think I got this for like $30. So you can find, for whatever reason, Varley is cheap a lot of the times on Poshmark. Just a tip, just so you know, I shop on Poshmark a lot because I sell on Poshmark. So I get credits and then I just use that to shop if I get something. Simone, how are you doing? She was in the hospital on our live Zoom call. That's how loyal this woman is. I realize it's probably close to the end, but wanted to say hi in the chat. Hope you're all having, Simone, I hope that you're doing better, girl. I love you. I love Tina Sarlin. 78, get so much knowledge from you that helps me grow and cope with things. Thank you. Tina, I love that. He was not chipped, Jody T. I love that, Tina Sterling. Thank you. I knew that about you because you've said it before, but that just really warms me that someone like you would say that. It's an honor that you would say something like that. Anybody who comes in here and says, like, I've been through a lot, I've been married this many times, I'm much older, I'm much more experienced, whatever it is, I appreciate that. That's such a compliment. So thank you. I just thought those little tidbits were good. And I think for a lot of us, we all are so similar in this group. This is such a beautiful, harmonious chat. We talked about this on the Zoom call. Yes, Susie. Yeah. 25-inch inseam, girl. And they're so comfortable. They're so soft. I mean, again, they're not cheap, but they're really well made. And it's kind of like that makeup I was showing last night. Like, it is comfortable. It's a really, now they run a little big. This is a medium. So Marissa Martin, just know that too. It's like the makeup last night. One, I like things that are quality. Can I always afford quality? Depends on, not necessarily. But me too, Shelly. I'm so glad you were on the Zoom call. But it's like that makeup last night. What was it? $34? That shit is going to last me for years. So cost per wear, it makes sense to me to spend $34 and have some really good piece of skincare and makeup that's going to last a really long time. It's the same thing with stuff like this. Like, I feel like I buy a lot of, I said this recently on Nat's chat. I buy a lot of basics like t-shirts, tanks, things I need either like Target or H&M. I don't buy a lot of it anymore because I have it. But if I need something like that, that's what I do. It doesn't always last. It gets holes, it pills, it doesn't wash well. So like stuff like this, I really like because I'll have it forever. I'll have it for years and years and years. Yes, Gertie is dreaming, Armine. That's cute that you heard her. Longevity is key. Superstorm Day. I'm late. I was born in 1965, married for 28 years. Husband has cancer. Coming here gives me some refuge in the storm. I'm so sorry. And unfortunately, a lot of us understand that. And we talked about that in the Zoom call. But I love that you've had him for that long. You've been married that long. And we will send you healing vibes and prayers your way, babe. Thank you for telling us that, for sharing. Yeah, L-Train. I like this stuff, the typology. You're welcome. I feel weird sharing those things because I'm like, I don't want people to feel like I'm pushing things off on them or trying to sell you on something. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I'm glad to hear you guys say that you like to hear things like that because I enjoy talking about it. I love giving reviews on things. I love, trying something out over and over and then knowing whether or not I like it and then coming to share it. So yeah, of course. Amanda, I have been walking with him every day. We had a really great walk last night. Last night we went longer than we've ever gone. And that was really exciting to see for him that he's pushing himself to go a little further and a little further every day. And I said that to him. When we got kind of far, I said, "Are you doing okay? Are we too far?" And he said, "No, this is good." He said, "I'm trying to push myself a little bit more every day." And he said, "It feels good for my health to do that." And also that gives me more time with him, just enjoying walking with him. So there's something about that, like just going on a nature walk with someone that you love. You don't have to talk. He has a trach. So in order for him to talk, he has to put his finger over it and it's hard to understand him. So it's not like we're chatting it up, but just being side by side walking, that is so priceless for me. It means everything. Just like I said, quality time, you can't get that back. So I'm so, so happy to just, he, thank you, Shelly. No, I don't, Ray, but I love so much that he waits for me. He waits for me to walk with him. So, like, if I'm on a live or if I'm eating dinner, cooking dinner for me and Huxley, my mom will text me and say, "Are you still coming?" And I'll say, "Yeah." And she'll say, "Because he's waiting for you." So he could walk all day, but he waits for me. And that's really, really special for me. And I don't like to miss it. And it's just, again, you can't, yeah, John, you can't put a price on that. You know, at some point, all of us will not be here anymore. All of us won't be able to share that anymore. And I will always, always have those memories. And it makes me feel so validated and special that he does that because, as you know, I have major father issues of being dumped or abandoned or whatever. I have super serious issues about, like, do you still like me? Do you still love me? I've never questioned that with him. But I love so much that he waits for me to come up there to enjoy a walk with him. So that's incredibly special for me. And it would have to be something pretty major for me to miss it. Like, I don't want to let him down. I want to make sure that I'm there every day. So that's why I schedule my job. I schedule my lives. It sucks here in Tennessee versus Kansas City. The sun sets earlier here than it does in Kansas City. So it's getting dark way earlier here now. So I'm trying to be very, very hyper aware of that. When I go live, I need to make sure that I at least end, and have 20, 25 minutes to go up and catch him and walk. So, and I do, and I plan around that way in advance. So I'm aware of it. I am going to do a live tonight with Tommy. Tommy asked me to do Bigsy. I'm so sorry. Bigsy lost her dad of cancer. I'm so sorry. Oh, I love that, Yadira. I'll take a look. Dirty Mouse. I get it. I'm sorry that your dad was sick. Tommy would like to do a Colton Crims tonight. I said I had time to do that. So that will be tonight at 7:00 my time, which is Central. And that's perfectly fine. That doesn't get in the way of our walk at all because it's dark here at 7:00. So I go before that. But it is, yeah, Shelly, it's really nice quality time. I am so happy to be here with my parents, even spending time with my mom. But he has a feeding tube and he has a trach. And so before I moved here, my mother was doing all the work, taking care of him, not necessarily doing so good at taking care of herself. And I was saying this before I moved here. I was like, Mom, you've got to eat. Now, when you have a spouse who doesn't eat, he's on a feeding tube, eating is a lot less. My mom is like a lot of women. She doesn't put herself first. And I understand that. She's taking care of somebody that she loves. But it was worrying me to the point where, like, when I got here, she was so thin. Yeah, I never know why I'm chubby. My mom, not that long ago, was 106 pounds. She's tiny. Now, her average weight throughout life has always been about 115, 120. But that was small. She's small. She's not taking care of herself. She's not eating. It's not good. So since I got here, I have been cooking and putting stuff in Tupperware and taking it up to her. So yesterday I made a huge batch in my Dutch oven of this really good. I made it while Tommy wasn't here because Tommy's allergic to mushrooms. I refuse to have anything mushroom anywhere around. I won't cook with mushrooms, nothing when he's around. So while he wasn't here, hey, Mr. Pants, I made this giant batch of this really good soup that I love. It's just a mushroom and wild rice soup. It's so good though. And I made a huge batch and I took up like half of it to her and she loved it. And so she's been eating it. Last week, I made a big batch of spaghetti, fed her all week. I just fed her all week long. So my mom has gained some weight back. She looks better. She's sleeping better. Like I just am so happy. I know, Shelly, me too. I'm so happy that I'm here because I'm able to kind of relieve some of that, the help there. But Lisa Kelson, funnily enough, I got the recipe on Instagram, which I hardly use Instagram. I don't make spaghetti much, Blake, because of the carbs, but it was good. I hardly use Instagram. But do you guys remember who Bob Saget was? I liked Bob Saget. I didn't know a lot about him, but I liked him. His wife was a much younger woman. I don't know her name on Instagram. I follow her because she does all these really easy cooking things. What is her name? Shit, I don't know. She made a really easy video. She made a really easy video and she started it and she said, and I just happened to click on this one day. Yeah, I love her. Katie, he is okay. And the video started and she goes, okay, guys, I'm going to show you how to level up a boring old can of cream and mushroom soup. Yeah, I love chili. And so I was like, so Kelly is her name. Yes. So she took a Dutch oven, Kelly Rizzo. Thank you, Abigail. She took a Dutch oven and she swirled it with olive oil. And then she sauteed. Now I have since kind of changed it for me because I love garlic. She didn't add garlic. I did. So I saute a bunch of garlic. I chop up carrots, celery if I have it, an onion, and a bunch of fresh thyme. Now, if you don't have fresh, that's fine. But I'd use a ton of thyme. Okay. And I put all those things together. I kind of brown those things. While that's happening, I make a box of Uncle Ben's wild rice. That's it. It's easy to make. That is good rice, by the way, just to even eat. So I'm heating up that rice, right? And that comes with a seasoning packet on its own. So it's good. While that's going, I add a big can of cream of mushroom soup, just Campbell's. Okay. I've tried it with the organic stuff from Whole Foods and it wasn't as good. So I used a big can of Campbell's and then I use a regular, smaller condensed can of Campbell's, but I get the cream of mushroom and garlic on that one. I throw them together. I add in a whole thing of vegetable broth because I don't do a lot of meat broths. You could. I add in a whole thing, a whole container of broth. When the rice is done, throw in the rice, mix it all together. It's done. And it is so good. It is so good. And you guys know I love to cook. I'm not great at it. In Scientology, I always wanted to cook, but I never had time. I never learned how to cook. You know, my mom and dad divorced and she left when I was 6. So and then my dad left all the time. So I was eating whatever I could make at home. To this day, I think because as a small child, I did all the time because I was home alone. To this day, there's a fly in here. My favorite thing is like a can of soup or a can of SpaghettiOs. That's all I need to eat. If I'm just home alone, I eat a can of soup or a can of SpaghettiOs. I'm just used to that. I've done it my whole life. So, but that's the recipe and it's so good. And I got that from her. And I happened to have carrots. I did not have celery yesterday. So I chopped up a bunch of carrots. I put that in. I chopped up a bunch of garlic. I put that in and a bunch of thyme. I really like the thyme. Now you may not like the taste of thyme, but I loved it. Kestrel, I like toast too. I just don't eat that many carbs because of my diabetes, but also carbs make me so tired. Like I don't eat a lot of spaghetti. I don't eat a lot of mac and cheese because that stuff, it's good, but it makes me so tired. Anyway, try that recipe. It's good. It's delicious. And it's a ton. It makes a ton. So I took that up to my mom and she'll eat that for the rest of the week. And she loved it. And it's just, that's the point. I'm trying to make and try new recipes or make things that come in like a big batch. Like maybe I'll make a big thing of baked ziti or something like that, which I normally wouldn't do, but I want to make things that come in big batches. Oh my God, Yadira, I remember that. So that I can take most of it and take it up to my mom. And then I don't have to worry about her not eating and or eating shit. That's the problem too, is like she was like, when I was in Kansas City, I'm like, what'd you eat today, mom? And she's like, well, I had a handful of M&Ms. I'm like, you're so malnourished. It's making me crazy. Like you need fresh vegetables. You need to eat. So, um, yeah. So I've just been trying to get her to eat like real good home cooked foods, not just like a frozen dinner type of thing. So all of this combination of things is a lot. It's stressful, but I'm so happy that I'm here and I'm so happy to be useful. Like it means so much to me that I'm useful, that I'm helping my parents. You know, in Kansas City, I didn't feel useful at all. I was spending most of my time arguing with someone and fighting and defending myself. So it feels really good here to, you know, my mom, for instance, will be like, oh, the prescription's ready at Walgreens, but I can't. And I'm like, I'll go get it. I'll go get it. Like when I'm done working here, I'll go get it. So it just feels good to be able to go, I'm going to the store. What do you need? And picking things up for her and going and getting her prescriptions. Like it may be small, but I know that it solves a lot of problems for her because she's taking care of him. Yeah, I have a purpose, Shelly, and I like having this purpose. I really enjoy having this purpose. I think that's why I liked taking care of Fred, because I really felt it feels good to take care of somebody else that you love. It just does. I'm that kind of person. I really get joy in caring for people. I just do. What time is it and why is he barking? Okay, Huxley's home. That scared me. I cared for my dad for 7 years. 3 months after he passed, I collapsed and nearly died. It's a miracle that you're able to be there to divide the work and worries with your mama. Take care. I love you. Jenny Stout, that's first of all amazing. I love that. I'm sorry you lost your father, but that is the time I'm talking about that you got to enjoy. And that's amazing. Thank you for your super chat. But it is absolutely, for instance, not that long ago, my mom did get really sick. She got really sick. Now she's okay now, but I know she knows it's because of the lack of care on her end, the lack of sleep, the lack of nutrition, all of those things. And so I already said, we're not going to let that happen again. So she leans on me now for things. And the other great thing is, I think part of self care is like she and I can go to lunch together. I can bring her lunch. We take walks. Like it's so good for the human mental health, even alone. It really makes your physical health shine too. I'm a believer in that anyway. Anyway, guys, I wanted to give you the update on the cat. I realize we went all over the place. I'm not going to apologize for it because we go all over the place. The little baby is sleeping right next to me. I think he's happy. I feel so thankful to all of you for praying, hoping, posting about it, texting me about it, checking in, sending emails. I want to say, hey, Joy of Cats, I want to say thank you to you for that. You took the time to try to manifest that he was going to be okay. You took the time from all the way across the world, different cities, different places, to put a thought out there for me, for the cat. And I just really, really appreciate that. Liz Tricks, you're a big one. And I want to say thank you. And I want to say what kind of a person you are for doing that, how much your character shines through for doing that. I know you do, Shelly. And we all care on this channel. And that means the world to me. And that's all I'm focusing on anymore. You know, people are going to come, people are going to go, unsubscribe, resubscribe. The numbers don't matter. I know the people who are going to stay here. I know the people who are woven into the fabric of us forever. And I know the ones that probably won't stay. And that's okay too. People are free to do what they want because we're not in a cult. And that's beautiful. So I just really mean it when I say that. It's incredible to me that there are people everywhere. That Zoom call, we had somebody from Germany, we had 3 people from Australia, we had people all over the United States. And we're all here for each other. And it's amazing. We show up and we pray, or we send good vibes, or we send healing thoughts and efforts. And I just want to say that is so magical to me. That is so powerful. I sat there in that vet's office before he came in crying, like just a little bit. I just cried and I thought of all of you. And I was like, I cannot believe how many people right now are praying for this cat, praying for him to be okay. And I was talking to Fred and I was like, Fred, I know that you're on top of this too. Like, I know we're all on top of this. As a group, we're on top of this. And it really does help and it really does work. And I know you're doing the same thing for my dad. And I just really thank you guys for that. I have never known in my life until now what it's like to have real friends, what it's like to have real people who care for you, who actually give a shit at the end of the day about your safety, about how you are, how you feel, your mental well-being. I have never experienced that. Never. And I love you, Joel Sachs. And this chat, these people bring it more hardcore than anybody. And I love you guys so much for that. I am so grateful. Audrey, it's so good to see you, girl. I am so grateful. And you just can't put a price on it. And I will be here forever for that reason. I don't care if 7 people tune in. It doesn't matter. It's a gift that keeps on giving that you can't take away from any of us. You just can't. They may try, but they won't succeed. There's not enough power. We have it. We have so much power in what we do. I will be on Colton Crims later at 7:00 my time, which is 3 hours almost exactly from now. Yes, Lori Lee, this is an amazing community. I love you guys so, so much, and I will hopefully see you in 3 hours. I hope you guys show up if you have the time and you want to make the time. I love you, Martha Slimmer. So I will put up the not a thumbnail because I don't know how to do that, but I'll put up the Colton Crims thing, and I hope to see you guys there. Thank you for listening to me today, and thank you for being here for the update on Seamus. I'm so in love with him. I feel so connected to this cat. I don't know. It's like we just found each other. I felt it immediately when I got out of my car. He came running to me, and I was like, that's unusual. That's unusual for a cat out in the middle of nowhere to come running like that. And I just thought, I can't leave him. I won't leave him. I cannot leave this kid. I just can't do it. And I'm glad I didn't. And thank you. Thank you to people too who super chatted for that toward the vet bill. I really appreciate that. It just shows your heart. Hey, Boris Cruz. And I'm very grateful. So I will see you guys in a few hours. I'm going to go check on Hux. We're going to go do our walk, and I will be back with Tommy this evening. The law of attraction, Shelley, for sure. Thank you guys. And here comes Fred, and I'll see you in a few hours.